October 17th, and Isaac and I are on our way to Michigan. Pretty excited. We're going to have a pretty good stretch here. We could probably hunt 10 days if we wanted to, but we'll see how it's going. We got quite a few shooters on our farm this year. We're pretty pumped about it. Definitely the most there's ever been. There's some really good bucks on there. Just got a picture of one this morning, so we're jacked to get down there. We're hoping to get there around 1:30 and get out in a tree stand tonight. Should be a good sit. My dad just called me. We got our first frost this morning, and he's seen a lot of deer out in the clover plot behind the house. And we got a southwest wind, so that's where we're planning on posting up tonight. We're jacked. It's gonna be a fun trip to Michigan. Time to get the tag. Ready to go.
So you got 2 dogs?
Who's that? What a crazy and disappointing first night here in Michigan. About an hour and a half before it got dark, we had our #1 buck step out. He's a 5.5-year-old 8-point with like a triple brow and a split brow. My dad and I have been chasing him. Last year was the first year we wanted to kill him as a 4.5-year-old, and he ended up getting wounded during gun season, and he showed up tonight. Really couldn't ask for anything better besides the way he worked in. He stayed out in the clover for the longest time. The does ended up kind of working up towards us, and he followed them, but they were just offset probably 40 yards to our right, and he followed them all the way down to the corner here, and then those does ended up looping this pond and getting in between on the back side of this pond we were sitting over. And he was heading right towards those does, and I was getting worried because if it did that, he's gonna get downwind of us. So I threw him a grunt, and he freaking switched like this, and he straight lined, turned his direction. He was coming right at us into the pond, but over my right shoulder to the back side of the pond, I cannot shoot unless I'm down on the platform. So right as he gets behind the brush, I drop to a knee and draw. Well, while that happened, we had a doe probably 80 yards out behind us in the clover. She was the only doe straight out in front of us, and she blew. And he stopped, and he must have stood there for 20 minutes without making a sound. I was actually sitting down on the platform texting my mom because she can see from the house, and I was asking, where's he at? And then all of a sudden, crunch, he's moving again. He moved down to the pond. I didn't have a shot anywhere on the pond, but if he would have turned and went right, probably another 5 yards, I had a wide open lane. But I don't know if you can see where Isaac was seeing him. I had zero shot, but instead of going right or coming at us, he turned around and went exactly the way he came in. He went back out. I had one little lane, and I stopped him in that lane, and I could see him with my both eyes when I stopped him, and when I closed my one eye, couldn't see him. It was just too dark in the woods right there. And then he had moved through my shooting lane. But we still had, like, I ended up looking at my phone. We had 7 minutes left illegal, but in the woods, it just got too dark too fast on us. Wish things would have played out a little differently, but it's only the first night. We had an amazing encounter. I'm hoping we didn't booger him too bad. Nothing blue, nothing like that. I think he probably just worked off back into the field. And then right as we were about to get down, 2 of our other shooters were out in the field too. A nice 10-point and another nice 10, tall 10. They were both out there tonight, so heck of a first sit in Michigan. Just a little disappointing that we've been after that buck for so long, and finally had our first crack at him, and it didn't go as we wanted to, but we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. I'm going to come up with a game plan and see how my dad's evening went. Well, that's going to do it for the morning hunt. We had a really productive hunt this morning. We saw a handful of does, a couple little bucks, and that 3.5-year-old just as it was getting light this morning. We're going to get down. We got some things to do this afternoon, but we're going to be out early for the evening hunt for the live. We're jacked for that. We're going back to the spot that I had our number 1 at, 25 yards 2 nights ago, so I'm really excited to get back in that stand. We'll definitely have a good hunt there. So that's all she wrote. We'll see you guys this afternoon. Well, we just got back out for the evening. It's October 19th. We're set up on the clover field that we sat the very first evening here in Michigan. Already got some deer out there, but these deer out in this field all day long. There's a spike and 2 little does. We got in here super early tonight because we know they're going to be moving early to eat. Just hoping things pan out a little bit differently than they did the last time we were in this stand. We got a good win for it. Got in here early, didn't bump anything. Should be a good night. Good night on the live. We're gonna settle in here and get settled down. Try not to move very much because these deer are very finicky. So, sit back and definitely enjoy the show. shoot. You good? Hit him in the shoulder. He's flipping his tail. He doesn't look like he's doing good. Well, I just shot our number one buck. The shot was not good. I hit him pretty far forward, very far forward. He just walked all the way across the field, limping pretty bad. Didn't look good. Did not look good. I couldn't really see my arrow, but definitely forward. Definitely forward. He was at 45 yards for, I don't know, it felt like 20 minutes. All these does worked back, and then he started taking steps the other way. So I figured now is my time. I let him get broadside, and I think when I shot, he started to move a little bit. And I hit him front. Pretty good. Not what you want at all. We're just gonna try and calm down and come up with a game plan. I wish I would hit him anywhere but forward. But it doesn't look good. We're gonna get down and kind of let the field calm down and gather ourselves. Go back into the house and kind of watch it on the big screen and see if anything good could have come out of it.
You want a sight that's built to last, has been proven, has a lifetime warranty, and is made right here in the USA. HHA makes sights for all archers, all skill levels, and for all users. Whether you're flinging arrows in the backyard or going on the trip of a lifetime, trust isn't built overnight. It's built by being #1 for decades. HHA.
Well, it's the next morning. What we end up doing is wait until this morning because the shot placement was absolutely horrendous. And only hope with the shot is that we caught that carotid artery. And kind of looks like we possibly could have caught it. In the video, you can see blood dumping out pretty much the whole way he's walking into the woods. So that looks all right, but even if you did catch it, it could take him a very long time to die, and in most cases you possibly would need a follow-up shot. So we didn't want him to get too far. He was only not far from the property line over. We got permission on this next property over. We just don't want him to go any further, so that's why we didn't push him last night. So we're about to go get on the blood, and hopefully what we see right away is that he's spewing out blood. If that's the case, we have a decent shot at finding him, but it's definitely going to be a crapshoot either way. We just got to the shot. We found blood. There's a lot of blood right away. Could not find my arrow. We're going to come back and look for my arrow, but the sun's about to come up, which is going to make it hard for tracking. So we got a real good blood trail as of right now, so we're going to try and follow him and try to get through that grass just to make sure we know where he went in before the sun comes up. So we're going to start following the blood. Oh my God, oh my God, Dad. Well, we're gonna drag him over onto our property. Thanks to the neighbor, you know who you are, for letting us come on here and find this deer. But we're gonna get him over onto our property before we do anything else. Well, here he is. It's October 20th, and we finally found him. Last night we made a decision to let him sit overnight. Everything we read about kind of where I shot him in front of the shoulder says he needed time, and I'm definitely glad that we gave him the time. Only hope with him expiring was if we caught that artery, which we definitely did, because when we came out here this morning and got on blood, he was just dumping. And he was dumping blood. He still went about 500 yards, and Isaac spotted him piled up. He bedded twice. Right after he bedded the second time, he kind of started wandering a bit, kind of going back and forth all over the place, and probably 50 yards after that, Isaac spotted him, and man, what a sigh of relief. Horrible shot, but God is on our side, and this deer definitely died pretty quickly. He was pretty stiff when we got up to him, but super cool hunt. The place where I killed him couldn't be more special to me. It's where I started bow hunting. When I was 8 years old, that was the stand I sat. Every night after football practice, I'd run home and run up in that tree, and had some awesome sits there. And to finally capitalize on a deer like this, 5.5-year-old buck that we've been chasing the last 2 years. He's been giving us the runaround. He has not been an easy deer to hunt. He'd be on our farm all through the beginning of October, and he'd disappear, and we knew we had to capitalize on him early. And 2 nights ago, he came out into the field, our first night back in Michigan, and he came in at 25 yards, just never could get a shot. Ended up getting too dark, and I couldn't see his body when I stopped him. But he ended up, must not have spooked him too bad, because last night he came out, and he came from the north and kind of did the same thing. He worked right down to us, and he got 45 yards. He was pushing does under us, and he just ended up stopping. He didn't want to follow those does anymore, and he started angling the other way, so I knew I had to take a shot then and there, and got lucky. Definitely got lucky. Just an awesome way to start this season, to be back in my home state of Michigan and capitalize on a buck like this. Couldn't be more happy.